Hello and welcome to the middle of the week here on the SBU Esports Twitch page. The middle of the week means that we got some Valorant coming up. The Seawolves will take on Central Michigan University and a bit of a battle between the top of the standings and the bottom of the standings. I'm Kevin Broderick, joined by Niddle and Ravi, and we got Haven first map up.
Love to see it. Good map. I won't say I enjoy seeing it in my games, but it's always fun to watch to play. But seems like we're already in on the agent select. A lot of characters getting pulled up here.
And Niddle, I just gotta throw it out. Might be a little bit painful for Seawolves fans to remember, but the last time we were watching a Haven game, Stony Brook fell down their first series of the year to Missouri State.
They did indeed. Hopefully we'll see a good comeback from them. They've had 2 weeks off since they had the bye last week.
Yep.
A good mental reset. Hopefully we see a refresh of what they do. Like, they have good strategies.
Yes.
If they can just put away the last game they played on here, they should be fine, I believe.
Absolutely. And honestly, I have faith in them. I think a lot of people have faith in them. And especially when you're coming in against a team that has been really struggling throughout the year so far, you know, that should put more faith that they should take this.
Yeah.
Just to highlight that of obviously we're not just pulling that out of thin air.
Yeah.
Central Michigan University fell down in their last series 13-4, 13-1, so it wasn't exactly a competitive game. That was up against the University of Central Florida, actually. Flipped it. And that's a team that Stony Brook has already beat.
Yes.
2-1, it was a competitive series. You got to mention that. But you do expect the Seawolves to be heavy favorites here. And that leads it to the pistol round, where
Yes, it does.
Stony Brook has been struggling a little bit.
Yes, we've mentioned this all the time, and it's never any less true. They always seem to fumble the pistol round, but they're never out of the game after it. They can always.
No, I mean,
bring it
literally
back.
the next round.
Yeah, somehow they turn it thrifty more often than not, but we always hope to see a change in that. Winning pistols are always a good sign for the rest of the match.
And it looks like we're going to get started with a very quick A play. At least that's the way that Central Michigan is leaning right now.
But on the flip side, it looks like the Seawolves are pushing down C. Gunny is all the way pushed down. And
Very, very quick round potentially coming out to start it off. Obviously, 2 Neons is going to lead to a lot of speed and a lot of quickness, and they're already into that A site. Yame looking for some entry frags, but it's going to be Bao to start it off instead. Majestic spamming through the smoke. He'll find one. Spike has not been attempted to go down yet, so Stony Brook has a little bit of time to go with. Here comes Majestic out of heaven, finds one and disrupting the plant. Bannable will find one back. Majestic still going, though. Gun dry, and his teammates pick up the last. Pistol round 1, and hey, maybe we reverse caster cursed.
yeah.
It is possible.
An excellent hold for Majestic there, finding 3 with nothing but a classic. I think he went all in on the util, which paid in dividends. The quick push coming out from C for the Seawolves, catching off the Cypher in mid, and the Central Michigan kind of just stumbled there.
Yeah, I mean, classic. It's more than a capable gun on the pistol round, and now we do have to see what CMU will be able to pull out on the Thrifty, because obviously they don't want to fall down to the Seawolves, who can and will steamroll over opponents if they get an advantage. Bao going to start it off. Like you've always like to mention, it's like an operator when you get that gun with no armor.
And Michigan has all of garage control, but it's slipping away as Bao finds another with the Marshall. Switches to the Ghost, and Abel just
with 2 on
runs
the
him
Stinger.
down. The Stinger is also lethal in close combat like that, but
Especially when you don't have any armor.
Yeah.
Because with the Stinger, the fire rate, it's like
it's insane.
if you miss some shots against an opponent with armor, your gun's going to go dry and you're not
Yeah.
going to be able to reload in time. But when they don't have armor, it's like it feels like you barely have to land anything.
Yeah, you can get like 2 headshots before the opponent can even react sometimes, and that's it if you have no shield. But it was just a thrifty coming from the Michigan team, so we will be going into a heavier buy now coming from them. Heavy A-lean, but there's a lot of Seawolves on this site.
Now Stony Brook going to peek out. Kaiser finds one. Gunny falling down. He didn't have a great weapon. It is a little bit of an extra buy for the Seawolves coming in. We do see a little bit of a push up down C, so that could get activated eventually, but in the meantime, CMU doing a good job cracking open this A site, and they're fully committed to it right now. Majestic might come on the late flank and lock them in here. Kaiser will pick up a much-needed kill. Headshot onto Jai. Still spamming out is Abel. Kaiser will pick up a second in the meantime. Classic shots down range. They got the last man trapped, but Beef Stroganoff, that's a bit of a mouthful to say. I'm just going to call him Beef. It's going to be a lot easier. But in the meantime, the Seawolves go up 3-0 to start off the map. And not only do you get the pistol, you get the extra, or you get the follow-up.
The bonus.
The
The
bonus.
force-up, sorry.
And
this is the bonus that
yes,
they just
this
won.
is the bonus.
Yes.
I mean, that's rare. It's
Yeah.
rare to start off a
It's
map
rare.
3-0.
I believe the Seawolves probably have a ton of cash now because they didn't force up for the bonus at all.
Nope.
They had all stingers and they won that.
Yeah.
And after picking up the guns that the Chippewas dropped, they're probably on an eco here. We got an Odin in the hands of Abel already, and Gunny once again aggressive as ever, pushing down.
Spamming with the tag, not going to find anything. Abel just still putting shots down range. It's allowing Gunny to push forward. He's so aggressive right now, just trying to hunt out any of these kills. Might get timinged if he doesn't look at the right angle at the right time, but is now just going to stab on A site. So this is probably going to be a free kill. First one onto Omen, and that's bannable going down first. Bao watching the only other angle they could come from on C. I mean, excuse me, A. C is unguarded by Stony Brook right now with just the tripwires there. Yame looking for a nice shot, but it's Bao instead. Through the wall and ahead. Gunny will find another one onto Jay, and it's fallen apart a little bit on the eco round, and Majestics will figure out the last two, and Seawolves starting off flawless, 4-0.
Yeah, and aggressive from Gunny there. He was pretty much playing attack at that point. He was just chilling behind all of the Chippewas there. Excellently played with able to cover him on the push-up, but not much to say about that. No guns for them, and they kind of fell apart.
And, you know, you feel at this point where it's kind of like you have to at least, if you don't win the round, you have to at least make it costly for Stony Brook, because you don't want that bank running away this early into the game, especially on the defender side, where if you have guns, you're going to be favored. Obviously, Haven, a map in particular, is attack-sided because there are so many maps you can go to, but I have to hold that for a second. As you did start the round already with a couple of trades coming out, again, because of Gunny's aggression. 4-on-4 should favor the attackers to spread this map out even further. A looks like it's going to be the choice. Yame, the first one in, using the walls to get a little bit deeper, and the speed gets him towards the corner. Drone should spot him out. It will be some utility dumped on him as well. He's concussed and can't really shoot at anything for the time being. Kaiser trying to use the shock darts to kill the planter, but isn't going to find it, so instead it brings up a 4-on-4 retake. Bao getting ready with the smokes. Gunny will put up some walls of his own and use the speed to try to get into sight. Not finding anyone instantly. Will get taken down by Jai as well. Bao scoping up. Abel will find a headshot with that heavy machine gun, but gets taken out instantly after that. And it's just all left up to Bao with the operator. Has to get the hell out of Dodge and will likely save this operator going into the next round. So the Chippewas, they find their first.
That's just what they needed. And with 3 alive, they should still have a decent buy into the next round, having saved those guns. Bao, this operator is pretty important to hold, but I doubt the Chippewas are going to hunt him for it, especially given how close their first rounds, were going. We didn't see much come out of Bao with the this round. Looks like the Chippewas managed to avoid him pretty well. I'm curious to see if they can continue kind of baiting it out and just avoiding it, but you never know. The operator can be played in so many different angles.
Yeah.
And you just never expect it sometimes.
I mean, you got 3 sites to set up on.
Yeah,
You know, I
exactly.
mean, you can go aggressive over towards mid. C long is obviously a good place to play towards, and obviously you can get super crafty on A.
Yeah, with the double angles you can hold. Once again, Gunny pushing all the way up B. Takes a fight, but this time does not go his way.
Duelist on
Yame.
duelist going the way of the Chippewas right now.
Now, all of mid control going to the way of the Chippewas, but C-Long is watched doubly, and a trip in garage means there's not much they're going for.
Majestics with a really forward position as well, so if this hit comes to the C site, Stony Brook is more than prepared for it.
And it does seem to be that's where they're going. They got Abel posted up in garage window, kind of got a slim angle into mid.
There's only 2 checking this, so Majestics could do a lot of work spamming for the first, but he's going to miss everything. Now it's a 5-on-3, and they're going to explode into the site. Bao will find the first necessary, still has the operator on back of site. Is so dangerous with that weapon. Looks like he will give it up and go for the retake. Abel, very far forward, playing around this smoke, could get some favorable angles, and they line up for him. 2 instantly for Abel. He hops up, looks for the third. Jai will take it back and leaving it to a 1-on-2. Kaiser into the clutch, one over to his left, finds that one, and I think he knows the last one is coming on a flank. Has the spike to play with as well. Looks away at the wrong time, and Spad will take him down from the back. 4-2, the Chippewas. They're getting back into it.
That was such an unlucky timing there at the end. Might even be karma for the lineup that Abel pulled off sneaking into sight. A lot of luck went into that round, but Chippewas, they're still in it. They might have gone down 4-0, but they're not outdone just yet, and they're firing back.
The Stony Brook hasn't looked good on the last 2 gun rounds, and you always got to talk about, you know, the start that they had prevented the gun rounds from coming in until this point. So they still got to prove that they can hang with the Chippewas, hang with Central Michigan University into these gun rounds, which you expect them to, starting pretty much right now. And again, that bank that they had saved up allows them for another bye.
Yeah, but if they lose this, it's most likely their last. I think Kaiser was down to just 300 credits. Abel's here at 450. And
it's going to be C quickly. 2 for 2 coming out so far. 3-on-3 left on the map. Abel will change that, dropping it to an advantage for his team. Bao has to switch to the classic. Not going to hit the shots down range, but Stony Brook still in a good position with 2 ultimates up as well. Both Omens having their ult could make this round very interesting.
Yeah, Spike may be down in Garage, but it's definitely not out of reach from Bannable. But it looks like he will try creeping up personally.
Oh, good readjustment from Spad onto Abel. Did not have the advantage in that fight. Still taken down to 30. So these last 2 Chippewas are so low.
Looks like they're grouping up together at B, and Bao seems to know where they're coming from with an interesting off angle in Garage window. Kaiser looking to back him up there. Bao swings out, and Spad is waiting for him, and now it's down to a 1-2. Once again, Kaiser in the clutch.
Kaiser, he in the exact same position last time. This time, trying to get it out for his team. Gives away his location. Should know realistically where these last 2 players are. That did not go where he wanted it, but the shock dart towards the back of sight will at least clear out part of it. Could get aggressive through this smoke. It would be the right idea, as neither team is looking towards that angle. Going around, could spam this out onto Bannable. Instead, he'll look for Spad, and a teammate will swing off of it. 4-3 the score, and the Chippewas are surging back into this game.
Yeah, these rounds are getting pretty close, but they're still going the way of the Chippewas. A lot of interesting fights going both ways. The classic shots from Bao over on C, the fight in the previous round with everyone lining up. Real interesting fights going on here. I'm not sure what's up with that, but
Now, if you're not familiar with what a Chippewa is, I wouldn't blame you. Because I did not know until I looked it up for this game. And the Chippewas are actually a tribe native to the area, I believe, of where Central Michigan University is. And I can't make points when Gunny is in the game because he just goes forward instantly.
Yeah.
And either he'll die or he'll get a kill, or in this case, he'll do both.
Yeah. But a trade coming in will lean the way of the Chippewas, actually. You don't want those trades to go even when you're on the defense. But the Chippewas will back up, given that there's 3 already on A.
You got to look at the utility available to both teams right now. 3 ultimates apiece. Almost the exact same ultimates as well. The only one that's different is the Sova and the Omen. But Breach and Cypher both having ults on both sides, it could lead to a nasty plant and then a nasty retake.
Yeah. And it's just Majestic over on C with only a tripwire holding them back, but looks like they're just going to teleport past it. Majestic might not be ready for this.
Majestic, he has to be so cautious. We'll find out that first player, and he's going to reveal everyone else on the map, so the Seawolves will have so much information to work with. But now Majestic also knows he has to back up and play a little bit safe. Is getting the right angle towards Garage, and here comes the hit from the Chippewas. Kaiser will take out one, and the Majestic will instantly fall off for that. Beef with a nice headshot, and Bao can just reposition and play the time. Faking out that teleport, he likes to do it so much. double fake might put a lot more confusion into the Chippewas. Jai clearing out the angle regardless. Bao will get tagged a little bit lower. 10 seconds on the clock. They need to get the spike down right now. A huge kill onto Kaiser, but Abel does trade it back and doubles up for the round. Seawolves back to winning ways. 5-3 the score.
Yep, and this was crucial. This round would have broken the bank if they didn't get through it, but they managed to squeeze through, and they saved the Rolling Thunder. They didn't need to use that for the retake, which means it will go into play for both sides. Maybe this round, we are nearing the end of the half, so if you don't use it soon, you're not going to get it again.
Use it or lose it. Name of the game right now. And again, now it's not only, well, because the Cypher Ultimate was used for the Seals, they do have a little bit less, but 4 Ultimates up right now for CMU.
Yeah.
You expect it to be their round, but obviously Valorant's a gun game at its nature.
It is indeed. You can never know which way it goes, especially with Breach Ult. Sometimes the stuns are simply cosmetic. Gunny's already taking another fight here.
Looking for that tough headshot angle, not going to win it out. Jai will best Gunny. And I feel like this is not typical of Gunny. I mean, in this map, it's been typical of him. But normally we think of Gunny as that guy on the site, the guy as the anchor getting up those multi-kill rounds, not necessarily the one that's uber aggressive every round.
Yeah, usually he's on the deadlock, sometimes the Cypher, just kind of locking down sites. Now that he's on Neon, he's kind of got free reign. He's just running it down. The fights are going pretty evenly so far, but Abel finding a good equalizer onto Jai here.
Beef just had to watch the head of his teammate get ripped off.
Right.
I don't blame him for backing up. Majestic will get another one, and Stony Brook's into such a good position. Yame, do you have it in you to claw this back? But Bannable will get it first. All the way retreating now. They know the jig is up, and they know that C is more than likely open on the other side of the map. Stony Brook have to rotate to get back there, and Majestic will be the one tasked with holding the site by himself. Activated the smoke from range, does have his camera already set up on site as well. Looking towards Yame, knows probably where he's going to come out from, and getting the breach ult over the top will allow Majestic to take a more aggressive angle, peeking it with Abel, but he'll do all the work. Last kill offered up. Majestic not able to find it, and it's put into a one-on-one. Kaiser, you have time on your side. You can play around this box if you need to. Yame needs to stick the plant, and he'll go for the full thing right now. Kaiser coming around the corner, missing his shots, but he'll get it in the end. We'll stick the defuse as well, and Stony Brook up to 6.
What a close round. Heroics on both sides coming from Yame and Abel there, but Kaiser does get the end there because the spike simply didn't go down before the Rolling Thunder came in. And with time on his side, it was he had the time to creep up and just take the fight where Yame wasn't expecting it.
You know, obviously you could try to stick on site when the Rolling Thunder is coming through and just hide below that box, but it's so risky to do that in the first place.
Especially when your teammates are all pushed down back long.
You have no one really to, give you a little bit of supporting cover. It was just such a well-used ultimate. And we talked about the fact that CMU had 4 ultimates last round. This time they have 5.
Yeah, and it's getting real late in the half. I expect to see at least 1 or 2 this round, if not potentially all of them. These could be game changers. But once again, heavy A presence coming from the Seawolves. They've cleared out all of A lobby, and Gunny seems to just want to keep pushing forward, followed by Abel. But looks like the Chippewas are taking garage control to respond.
Bao with a nice shot will start off the round. Yame taken out, so no duelist to entry into this C site. This is where the hit is coming as well. Bao with another one. Majestic in a strong angle. Will find the head of one, moving around, finds a second. A little lucky there, but running gun works in this game sometimes. Everyone else's position gets revealed, and it's up to Spad with an outlaw on C site. Not exactly where you want to be. Here comes the push from the Seawolves. They'll miss the first shot, and Kaiser will rip off his head because of it. 7-3 the score. Stony Brook, it looked a little rough losing those 3 rounds in a row, but they seem to have figured it out. They're getting going now.
They guaranteed a head at the end of this half, too. That outlaw, lethal in the hands of Bao, kind of fell short on the enemy side, simply because the Seawolves had full shield. That eco round didn't go the way of the Chippewas, but we got 1 or 2 buy rounds left in this game, depending on if the Chippewas can win this one out.
You also got to think about the start of this game for Stony Brook.
Yeah.
They've been on a full buy every single round.
Yeah, they haven't ecoed since round 3 because they were bonusing. That's how strong their economy's been, even with those 3 rounds lost in a row. But
And by nature, the bonus is a choice.
yeah,
To
they
not
they had
buy
the money
those.
to buy there. They just chose not to because they wanted to build the economy, which clearly worked out.
I mean, it's flawless from an economic standpoint. Obviously, you'd prefer to have those 3 extra rounds on the board, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Kaiser, what a nice shot. And Bao again on the outlaw through a wall this time. Stony Brook starting it off exactly how you want to. The entries are still attempted onto this A site, but the Seawolves have 4 people here at this point. Really nothing for them to do. Beef will spot out the teleport, and hey, I don't exactly know what just happened. The Seawolves do, because they just kind of pressed W and killed 3 people.
Yeah, Gunny popped his ult there and just ran him down. Neon ult works perfectly with his playstyle. He's just not stopping at all.
And at this point, Dylan, you got to look at it. That Breach ult still has not been used.
Yeah, that's a crucial ult. Even on like a 3v5 on a site, that Breach ult could change the game. But now we're on the last round. It has to be used now or they lose it. But we'll have to see if they get the opportunity. It seems like they've kind of just been holding for the perfect chance, which hasn't come.
Breach should be using his ult right about now. Beef is going to pick up a kill onto Gunny, and Yame is getting so deep into the site. Breach did use the ultimate, but he got killed by Kaiser, who got a double with the Hunter's Fury. Left into a 2-on-3. Bao with an Operator can work with 16 HP if he's watching the right angle, but doesn't. Kaiser, do you have a 1-3-3 in you right now? Gets offered up the first kill, gets the second kill as well. Kaiser on for an ace. He knows where the spike is. Great drone coming out. Will catch out the opposing Cypher, and Kaiser is playing this round beautifully. Spad will push forward, not using any sound cues. Kaiser is dropping down right now, not trying to give away his position, so he goes in slowly. He's orchestrating this round to perfection, but Spad is maybe 1 step ahead right now. Instead of going to C, he's going to push all the way down to A on the opposite side. Could work back to B as well. Kaiser's just going to sit and wait. Not going to move off this position until he absolutely knows that he has to. Maybe actually gets a little bit of an idea of that Spad isn't coming back. Now the question is, at this point, where does Spad expect Kaiser to be coming from? Because theoretically, he could be anywhere on the map.
Yeah, Spad didn't realize that Kaiser crossed into Garage because he looked away for just a second and Kaiser got his opportunity. Spad might even be hunting for Kaiser, but now he does choose to plant on B, but
Kaiser coming in from
there's
the
no way
perfect
he expect
angle.
Kaiser here.
He has his back turned, and Kaiser for the ace. All hail Kaiser as he picks up the 9th for the Seawolves, and they'll triple the rounds coming out of the first.
That was a crazy round. He found 2 with his ultimate, and we talked about that Breach ult, how it could be a game changer, and the moment it got cast, the Breach also got caught out by Kaiser's Hunter's Fury there. It was just unfortunate timing the way it was used, and it got real close, but Kaiser cannot be denied in these situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's simply the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the double up coming on C before. I mean, people line up, and you know that's why the collateral is that's why there's a name for the collateral,
exactly.
the collat shot. You know, it's rare, but it happens.
And especially when you're trying to play together as a team, sometimes you just play a little too close, and there's nothing that can be done. It's not even like a mistake on your part. It's just how it happens. And there's that amazing cat spray that's been terrorizing my ranked games.
Is that a new one?
It's a new one, and it makes the sound. It's meows. And Gunny's just passed the Cypher. He hasn't looked. And
Spad now
finds
collects 2 with it. Abel will trade him out. Gunny was so far forward. I think we've seen that exact play that the Seawolves have fell victim to before.
Yeah.
Abel, that's not where you want to go, is bannable. Will take you out right away.
And this looks more like a classic Seawolves pistol round.
I mean, hey, they got some space and they've got time to work with.
It's still doable.
Yeah, 2-on-4 isn't great odds, but Majestic, you slipped the knot, not hitting your shots, I should say. Had one up on a silver platter. Now these 4 are going to come rushing through the same angle. Majestic, you're going to have to do some great shooting right now. Finds one. Bao picks up another one as well. Majestic onto 2, and they somehow 2-on-4 without dying themselves.
That's
Stony Brook is running away with it.
Yeah, I cast a curse that one. That's crazy coming from the 2 of them, both playing inside the smoke.
Chippewas an apology.
Yeah, that's my fault, Chippewas. I shouldn't have counted out the Seawolves there, but that was incredible from them, both playing inside that smoke and the right clicks. But now I get why they never work for me. They only work for Bao, clearly.
I mean, it might have something to do with the fact that he is one of the highest ranks in the game.
That is
you
most
know.
likely, yes. But I guess RNG only works for the Immortals, but
Hey, I mean, when it works, it works. Gunny going forward, very aggressive right now with the Stinger. It's matching his playstyle for this map. All the way deep onto A. Knows one is here. Beef, it's just going to get executed, essentially. That's the only way you can describe it.
But
straight headshot, and A has been completely taken over by the Seawolves. Yame is in such a good position. I didn't see him get there. Will pick up 2 before getting traded himself, and the Seawolves, hey, no qualms on this round. Gunny is still going forward, maybe a little too far forward.
he's just reloading in front of Spad there, and that's not a fight you win. It looks like a 2v2 now. Bomb will go down.
Bao with another great piece of shooting, looking through the smoke for the last one. So low, and Bao is going to go hunting for it, but instead, Kaiser gets it onto Jay, and it's 11-3.
Right through the smoke. What is that smoke? That's a new one, but
I don't think that was intentional.
nah. But it happens. Round went their way. It's all good. And we're looking at 11-3 here. The Chippewas should get a full bye here, but if they lose that bye, it's match point for the Seawolves, and they don't have a bye for the next round. So we'll have to see if this could be the make or break round for the entire map.
But you feel like at the 11-3 deficit, there's a lot of make or break rounds coming for the Chippewas. So this one can't be the one that you're worried about in particular. It has to start at some point, but it's not starting right now as Gunny finds one right off the bat. So deep into the site, will get taken out by a different shotgun this time, and Bannable making a little interesting with 2. Jay attributing 1 as well, and now Abel just sitting in this smoke with Bao in a 2-on-4. We've seen Stony Brook win something like this so easily. Abel trying to get around the corner. Will find one before getting traded out instantly. And now it's all left up to Bao. Sees one, spots him, but doesn't kill him. Now Bao using his utility, getting on top of sight. Has to pull the gun out, looking for the shots. Not going to find it. Yame will pick up the 4th. And the Seawolves, hey, you lose one, but you still have such a good economy.
Yeah, it happens. The Chippewas managed to fight their way through that, but you still got about 8 chances to get these next 2 rounds, so it's a good motivation for the Chippewas, but they've still got a lot of fighting to do and to get back in this game.
And it's not too unlike the Seawolves to kind of play with your food a little bit before closing them out.
Gunny bought a shotgun there for crying out loud.
And he bought one again, so he's probably going to do the same thing. There are times in which they joke around and they try to just play a little fast and loose until they absolutely can't anymore. Not quite there yet as Judge. Not going to do a lot of work. The Judge, I should say, not going to do a lot of work from that angle. And Abel will find the trade onto Yame. Eventually, Bao with a nice headshot. So it is into a 3-on-3. And now the meme guns are gone. So Stony Brook actually has a legitimate chance of winning this round.
And Seawolves, they're leaving Bao with bomb here on A.
Bao, nice headshot from him. Spad will be dropped into the dirt, and the Seawolves into the 3-on-2 to try to pick up their 12th.
And they will take control of the site. Spike not yet down. Jai with a nice shot onto Abel there. 2v2 once again. Bomb will go down.
Jai from heaven is the perfect place for this Guardian to be. Kaiser, do you expect him to be there? The answer is yes, and Kaiser through the wall will finish off the tag that he started. All up to Bannable. Team really absolutely needs this one.
Here comes the knife.
And Bao will take it out.
Yeah.
Just give a little bit of silence just to let that play through, and Bao, no respect given. He wants to close his opponents out in style. 12-4 match point.
Yeah, that was the perfect opportunity for a knife. You can't even blame him for that one. But here's match point, and Chippewas, I'm not entirely sure how good of a buy they might have.
It should be fragmented.
Yeah.
Yame with the Vandal is probably going to be one of the high points. And obviously, I mean, I don't know, because Yame could also use the ultimate. So maybe you theorize that give the Vandal to someone else and you have a little bit more power across the map.
It could also be they mostly have guns. And, well that's why he's got the Vandal.
He's making it sing right now. Bao will teleport to heaven, so puts the defenders on A in an awkward spot, spamming over towards Yame. Now he'll drop, so the Vandal is gone. Bao looking to smoke off the site as well and teleport out of heaven, so he'll get away from this push that's coming in from CMU.
I just noticed Bao had bomb. If he lost his life there, that would have been a round. But the bomb does go down, and all of the Chippewas are either heaven or CT. So
Beef will spot out all of the players for Stony Brook. Abel going a little aggressive with the Judge. I don't know why the Seawolves
Yeah.
really love the Judge right now. Kaiser getting a little bit of utility thrown his way, but Majestic's in a good spot. Will be taken out by Spat, who gets traded out. Now the clutch is once again on Kaiser. Has the Hunter's Fury, so can use that as a bomb denial, but instead he'll push forward onto site. Shock Dart gone. He'll swing to his left, but Bannable gets it with the Judge. Makes it a 12-5 game.
For how much the Seawolves love the Judge, it fired against them now.
It's really
Judge
not
won
working
it.
out for them.
Yeah, it works out for the Chippewas, though, apparently, and the round does go their way, so we continue on.
I forget who it was, but I'm remembering, I think Majestic might have been having a rough map a couple weeks ago, and then
Yes,
he bought the Judge.
he bought the Judge
like
all
maybe,
game the next
maybe
one.
the entire second half, and was like unironically making it work.
It
the
worked,
entire
yeah. I think he
time.
was playing Raze, which is
Yes,
another agent
yes,
that it
yes.
actually works on, just like the Neon, which Gunny seems to be running the Judge with. But looks like we will see another buy coming here. Bao at least has a Phantom. And Gunny has his ult, and he's in.
And now he's going, and he's getting a headshot, looking for another one. Hunter's Fury behind him will find it. A triple kill for Gunny, and there goes the game. He'll look to close it out with the Quadra. Another headshot to finish it off. That Neon ult is so powerful when it gets going. And because of that,
Yeah.
map 1 goes the way of Stony Brook, 13-5.
An insanely fast finisher there. Gunny just ran it down over in seconds, but a good showing from both teams there. Very strong from the Seawolves,
Yep.
but the Chippewas, they put up a good fight for
They did.
what they could.
They put up 5 rounds, which is a little bit more than what you might have been expecting
Exactly.
coming into the game. So that could be a sign for good things coming into the second map, which we will get into right after this break. And we are back for the second map. It is going to be Ascent, and the hero picks are already coming through agent picks, actually.
Yeah.
They get very particular about this in this game.
Yeah.
It's the agent picks coming through right now, and this is Stony Brook's home turf, so you really do expect maybe a little bit of an elevated showing from what you saw last game, and that's hard to say because it was a 13-5 last game.
Yeah, this.
So it hard to go better than that, but doable.
But doable, indeed. This is definitely their home turf, and they can definitely get like maybe a 13-3 if they
I
really
can see
lock in. But you can't count out the Chippewas.
Nope.
They can definitely put up a fight.
They put together 3 rounds last map that looked very, very convincing. It was close, and then the Stony Brook Seawolves, they ran away with it past that point. So the question is how long can you ride that momentum out if you're Michigan?
Yeah.
And the second thing is, when the Seawolves get the momentum back, can you stabilize? Can you win like maybe 1 round out of 5 before you go on another winning streak yourself?
Yeah. Historically, most teams don't stabilize
Yes.
once the Seawolves get their momentum, but you never know. Maybe that last loss was just what they need to motivate them to get the next one. But
and we are into the pistol round, which is, like we always mention, a big one for the Seawolves. If they can win it, they're so far flawless. One of them because of a 2-on-4, so you don't expect something like that to happen every day. But in all fairness, we've seen some heroics on pistol rounds coming out on this map specifically because of the way people can clutch on the B site.
we are seeing a couple changes here. Gunny is on Killjoy now instead of Deadlock, and we're not seeing that Bao Yoru pick once again. So that is the Chippewas, however, do have a Yoru now, and Yoru is pushing up with Yame, taking a fight onto Bao.
In a bad position, he'll go down through the boxes. Bao,
That's the spike, too.
yeah, really not able to do a lot with that, and puts his team in such a bad position. Majestic pretty much needs to find one from this area. Misses shots, now going to get re-peeked from heaven. Has to go for a reload as well, and Beef will drop him 5-on-2 instantly. Abel could break the glass. He makes noise, so they'll know he's there. But Stony Brook, they got to get back into this some way, and now Abel is all alone in a 1-on-5, just trying to prevent the flawless. Will get spotted out with that location reveal, and is going to get peeked from pretty much every area on the map for the rest of the round. Going for 1 kill, maybe finding it. Abel does get a headshot before being stabbed from the back. 1-0 for the Chippewas.
An unfortunate round. Once that spike was lost, no one was with Bao to get it back, and they took site control, actually, long before they could get the spike control back, but now we do see a heavy buy coming in from the Chippewas. Looks like Yame's already pushed up to a Vandal after getting 3 in the last round. So not likely to see much come out of the Seawolves, but once again, we know what they can do on their anti-ecos round 2.
Yeah, especially when you get a Sheriff in the right hands, the hot hands, I should say.
Yeah.
They can really make it sing. So
And
Yame will start it off, and he's going to push into an empty A site because everything is going towards B. Majestic will be the first one to fall. Bannable doing that job nicely, but Abel will be able to trade it out with a headshot through the wall, and Stony Brook going for the plant at this point will get it down, and some flanks might come through. Bao with just a classic, just really not in a nice position, but he'll have to make it work. 4-on-4, so it's kind of awkward right now for the Chippewas, and that spike is just ticking ever lower. Jet Dash coming behind. Abel will find another headshot, and Gunny will add on to it. Stony Brook into a 3-on-2, but the health bars are low. Abel really has to do a lot. He'll fall, and Beef is onto a 3K, leaving it all down to the aforementioned Bao with just the classic. In the smoke, going for the peak and not going to find it. Should be enough time on the spike as Beef sprints forward to it right away, gets on the defuse, and will stick out the entirety of it.
that was almost doable, except Beef's recon dart stuck onto Bao's person.
Yep.
And he was caught out. And the Vandal will be retrieved, but for anti-eco, that was a pretty strong one. A lot of guns dropped on the side of the Chippewas, so not likely to have a full buy here, as opposed to the Seawolves, who will be probably buying up all the way to rifles, as they are, yes.
Yep, everyone on the Seawolf side does have a rifle. It should be a little bit lighter utility for a majority of them because of that. Maybe not the full armor that you would want, but nonetheless a strong buy.
Indeed. And once again, we see Spike all alone over in Kaiser's hands on A. As long as we don't get a repeat of what happened in pistol round, this could go well. Looks like a heavy mid presence coming from the Seawolves, leaving just Jai to watch A main facing off against Kaiser.
Gunny going for this fight. It's going to be an important one. Misses the initial shots and then goes back up. Will find it on the Spad, turning around for a second and gets bannable as well. Bao fighting towards this mid before Jai trades it out with a classic onto Gunny. Not exactly sure how he lost that fight, but doesn't matter as Majestic will pick up the necessary kill, and that drops it to a 4-on-2. Majestics for another headshot. Playing that Jet, it's a different carry than we've seen on this map, but
Yeah.
it's a good one. I liked seeing Jet on Ascent, especially when you can get that operator on the defensive half.
Sometimes even on the offensive half, it's
Yeah.
always fun to watch. But Jet is a very not as aggressive as an agent or as Neon or a Raze, if you will, but still excellent to watch. Lots of off angles you can take with that op, and then still dash out just safe and sound.
Yep.
Now we do go into the next. We see a split coming in from the Seawolves, 3 on B, and Bao and Kaiser here trying to take mid presence, it looks like.
Bao instantly going for the teleport. Good angle, but Gunny will fall first. Majestic's going for a nice peek. Does find the headshot, and he will drop Spad to the ground. So it is a 4-on-4. Again, you always say that it should favor the side of the Seawolves for doing that.
Yes. And now they looks like a full reset from the Seawolves as they start grouping up in B main. Abel slowly clearing the angles with just an Omen right to his left. And looks like he's about to take fight.
Oh, great off angle from Bannable. Looking for the second one. Will find it through the wall. It was a little bit lucky on the spam. Kills the drone easy as you like and knows Kaiser is going to be somewhere behind him to pilot that drone. They're walking into a 3-man stack right now. Have to fight through it. Kaiser for the first. Did have, I believe, a clone walking at him, so that's not going to be a kill. But Beef and Jai are getting really aggressive right now. Could fall down for it. Trade coming out. Bao, can you swing to get this other kill onto Beef to drop it to a 1-on-1? Is taking his time and doesn't know that he could get flanked from behind from the Jet, but instead the Jet will go over towards that connector position. Bao, Yame to his right, Beef to his left. Phil find the one to the left, spinning back to the right side, and Yame falls. Nice clutch coming out from Bao, and it ties us at 2.
That was won by the tightest of margins there. A second later, and he would have swung into 2, but insane shooting from him, grabbing the 1-2, all while crouched.
And Bao, you got to mention that it was the intuition to look to the opposite angle right away. He could have looked at a couple of different angles that he could have been either a flank coming in or just the, I forget the position, what it's called right now, but regardless, Bao, just intuition. That's what I'm trying to highlight.
Exactly. Now, looks like we're going to get a heavy fight here in Garage. Jai and Beef pushing up, but
Gunny's good for
finds
the first.
Jai.
Will swing out, and he'll just make all the Chippewas back up because of that, and Stony Brook might look to activate off of the kill they got from Gunny. You also got, I don't think Gunny has been a big Killjoy player this year either. I think that's a new pick for him as well. So
yeah, mostly Deadlock.
Some new tech. Gunny coming forward with the Killjoy as well. Finds a second and another headshot. I mean, hey, you can change the agent as much as you like, but the aim is still there.
You got another while you were mentioning that, but Majestic closing up there. Gunny is still shooting as strong as ever, as he was saying. But looks like the Bannible's just going to have to hold this. He's got nothing but a judge. Does get spotted by the knife, but
suppressed as well. Next 3 seconds really shouldn't mean that much. Stony Brook will go for the push. He'll get the shots down onto Majestic and doubles up onto Abel. Just allows Gunny to get his 4th of the round. I don't know. I honestly might have preferred to give it over to Majestic than allow the Gunny to get going, a little bit more momentum behind him and a little bit more fire to play with.
But especially once Gunny's warmed up on this half, the second half is all his, locking down those sites. Can't wait to see it. But they are going to leave Gunny alone here over on Catwalk while
importantly this time the alone player does not have the spike.
Yes, that is critical because that is how they ended up losing the pistol round.
So Stony Brook with 4 ultimates coming into it as well. The Killjoy, very important. Jet ultimate already popped. And Gunny, what a shot that was. Flanking onto Yame, who's in such a bad position. Bao cleans it up because of that. It was pretty much a free kill because of Gunny's position. Looking for the final headshot. Spad finds it first. Makes it a doable 1-on-2. And Bao is going to just look to ice this one out as easy as he can with Abel. I mean, it should be drama-free, but Spad, you never really know.
Bow's playing an interesting off angle there, up on top of the wall.
They might not expect this. Abel's being very, very loud, so he should know where he is. Abel, that was just the literal pixel perfect
That is a
headshot.
filthy angle downstairs. Yeah, not an easy fight to win. Not an angle anyone holds really, even. But that will go the way of the Seawolves.
Because you gotta think about if you commit to that angle when you're a defender, and you have a full take coming into you.
Yeah,
It's good for the first. But if you fall off the angle at all because of utility, it's not really something you can repeat.
yeah, and plus if the door is not closed, it's a hard angle. The door was closed and Gunny and Bao had his back, but still not an expected angle by any means. Once
Abel
again,
going for these mid fights just so often. The push is coming through. I believe the dimensional drift was popped because of it, so Stony Brook will have to deal with that eventually. But instead, it's going to be a push coming forward from Stony Brook onto the A site. Gunny not going to be able to find anything over there. Majestic is dropped by Beef with the Sheriff. So it is a 3-on-4, and Stony Brook is in a little bit of a weird position. Gunny trying to go forward onto the A site. 4 members from the Chippewas are there. Nice headshot from Abel, looking for a second one, throwing some utility onto the site. Gunny will try to peek from the other side, but does have someone watching it. It is Spad. Spad and Jai back to back. One will fall, and the other one will fall in succession. Nice shots from Gunny and Kaiser coming through, and they crack the round open. 3-on-1. All they got to do is plant the spike.
Yeah, that was a strong round at the start there. The Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury were comboed together there, and they managed to pick one off of it, but the Seawolves just shoot their way back, and now Bannable, nothing but a Sheriff, misses the shot on Gunny, and ducks away, but
Bannable going for the repeaks into a blinded Gunny, so that's why he wasn't able to fight back right there. Bit of an unfair fight. Abel going for the shots. I mean, realistically, even if he gets this kill, he can't go for the defuse. So Stony Brook playing with house money at this point. Abel still just baiting this out. Why is he using his classic right now? There you go. Take the rifle out.
He's yo cloning. They're toying
Abel.
with it. Abel's the one who blinded Gunny, by the way.
Oh, was he?
It was.
That wasn't even an omen blind?
No, you could see the yellow light. That's an actual
yeah.
flash there. Abel blinded Gunny, and then he's staring at his body with knife out.
I bet he was laughing at it as well.
Yeah. Almost lost his life there, but just barely ducks back in time, and the Yoru clone is just salt and wounds. They're having fun with it now.
They really are. Because, again, it's just one of those things where it's just like, oh, it's a Yoru. Oh, wait, no, he's not playing Yoru.
Yeah. And it might also be the moving character is sometimes just hard to hit when you're not expecting them to be moving that way.
Yeah.
But we go into the next.
Very, very aggressive towards mid, but it's going to be a Killjoy coming out onto B. The lockdown is there, and kills just coming across for Stony Brook. Bao and Kaiser started off before a final trade back is there. They're all the way onto site. Tapping. Yame will find one, but doesn't really matter because the round will go the way of the Seawolves, and it was a weird one, mainly because CMU pushed down mid right away.
They also got the spike again, just like in the pistol round. Spike was down in B main. It's just the Seawolves had pushed far enough ahead that they flanked around behind Yame to get him from mid. So looks like they're not trying to be too strategic with it anymore. Both teams kind of just W-keying and hoping to take the gunfights that favor them.
So buy phase coming in. Stony Brook will be on full buy again. They've won, 6 rounds in a row now, so they have a superb bank coming out. Gunny, I don't think you know that first player spotted by. Checks the angle half-heartedly, and Bannable will capitalize on it. Headshot straight into Gunny, so that's going to be a big gun gone for the Seawolves. Majestic's on the Jet. Hasn't really been the highest impact player so far this game, despite playing the Duelist.
Yeah, but now it looks like he is coming into a fight with Beef Stroganoff here, and
looks the wrong way. Majestic's will find it. Majestic going back towards the mid, spots out his enemy Jet. Might look to swing through it, could spam as well. Dash coming out, tags coming through, and Majestic, you don't know that you're going to be peeking into 2 people in a second. Does back off. Doesn't want anything to do with Jay. Instead, he'll send Abel to do it. Oh, okay. Okay, Abel. And he finds another one. Bao's going to probably swing. Is he going to get the kill? No, he's not. Spad will find the headshot instead. And Abel, he might just keep going. You never really know with Abel. You never really know with anyone on this team.
yeah, looks like they just want the fights, but does he expect Bannable here? No, he's not even looking the right way. And now it's a 2v2. Still doable for the Chippewas.
Spad is so low, though. He has to really play these headshot angles, and that's not really the greatest thing to do with the Phantom. Bannable is coming in from Heaven. Kaiser holding Spad's position, allowing Majestic to hold Heaven. They're all just jiggle peeking side to side. Now here comes the hit. Spad will find, oh, actually not Spad. Bannable coming in from Heaven puts Kaiser in an awkward situation. Finds one, can't flick down, and Bannable with the 4K does get it.
Close round there, but the Chippewas fight back. They're still in it. I think they didn't have great guns in the beginning. A couple of them were on shares, if I recall correctly, but the Seawolves kind of just fumbled the ball there at the end. The crossfire not working as well as they hoped.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a pseudo crossfire. I mean,
it
wasn't really a strong one.
It was more just watching each other's backs.
Yeah. It really was relying on them to hit their shots first, and obviously the crossfire is supposed to just say, yeah, we win.
Yeah, pretty much. But
6-3, so the Chippewas, like we were saying, they need to break these streaks that come through for the Seawolves.
Yeah.
And they did that. They got one back, so the question is, can they carry any momentum? The answer so far is no, because Stony Brook is exploding onto this B site. They normally do this with the dimensional drift, but don't have that ability this time, so instead, it's just dry swinging. Abel, through the smoke, will find another headshot onto Spad. How do you keep doing this? Abel flying forward, breaking down the door, looking for Bannable, gushes him through the wall, but will fall, and Gunny dies as well. So now it's an interesting round at the 2-on-2. Low HP bars for the Chippewas. Kaiser throwing out that shot dart. Jay has to get out of the range of that. The LMG could do a lot of work through these walls. Bannable, he's working in on low HP as well. Kaiser lining up the shock darts, not hitting anything there. Bolt detects, and a nice spam coming in from Kaiser. The flick right away, and it's going to be finished off by Bao. Stony Brook back to winning ways.
I think some of the Seawolves are getting a little too confident with it. A lot of them are kind of just W-keying there once they get the spike down, but it does go their way most of the time, so I guess I can't fault them for it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when you have a one-map, advantage in hand already, and you're up at this point now 7-3, it feels kind of comfortable if you are Stony Brook.
Now, once again, we're in the same position as last time, 7-3. The Chippewas did not get the last 2 rounds on the previous map. It does fall to them to get these 2 now, but Majestic is already in, and he's found Spad. That's the site broken
aggressive.
Open. And
another one going to be followed up from Gunny. I mean, what next? Is it going to be Kaiser through another smoke to find 2 headshots? I mean, that's pretty much how it's been going. Actually, it's Bao dropped, so a little bit of damage back the other way, but there you go. Yeah. There are the 2 other kills coming out from the Seawolves, and they will get up to an 8th, albeit against a bad buy from CMU. So now you expect the next round to be a little bit more competitive before the half closes out.
Chippewas definitely need to get this round if they want to make their way back into the game, but we'll have to see if they can pull it together. The Seawolves are they're kind of just everywhere. They're taking all the fights and winning most of them too.
So, last round before the swap, Stony Brook trying to repeat their scoreline, like you mentioned, from last game. And if they do so, we could expect another quick finish on this map.
We do see a couple of ults coming from the Chippewas, and on that dimensional drip popped right away.
Doesn't matter. Majestics for 2. Both of them had shots as well. Now taking out the knives. Stony Brook into a 5-on-3 retake. I mean, I don't want to say easy as you like just yet because they haven't won the round, but it feels like that already. Yame, you don't want any piece of Majestics right now. He is hot. Turning around, finding another headshot, going forward onto the 4K, looking for the full ace. Can he get it? Scumbag Gunny. And now Majestic goes for the spam.
They're fighting over
Oh my god. Majestic would have had a highlight reel right there, but instead Gunny says, nah, I want to make it a low light.
Gunny knew what he was doing there.
Oh, he 100%
He could have left that for his teammate, but nope. He wants those kills. But that was incredibly fast. Nothing the Chippewas could do there. Majestic just ran it down into B there. And now we go into the next. Here's the pistol. This could go the way of the Chippewas. You can never count the Seawolves out of dropping the pistol, but this is a crucial round coming now.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the difference of being up 11-3 versus 9-5. 9-5 is a competitive scoreline. 11-3 is 11-3.
11-3, yeah. It's not 9 times out of 10, you're not coming back from that.
So information coming out from Kaiser, that should spot out a lot if the dart is able to activate. Yame, the first one in, throwing down the smokes for a little bit of coverage. He gets stuck in it momentarily and then just instantly dropped by Gunny. He's still hot coming into this side. His support will fall down. Kaiser for the shock dart. Gunny looking behind him, making sure no one's there. No one is there, but Bannable is around the corner. They'll finish it out from Abel, and Stony Brook will win the pistol.
That was nice and easy, real fast coming from the chip was, but kind of just fell apart. I think Yame might have gotten stuck on the switch after dropping that smoke. He kind of just stood in it and didn't know where he was going. And now we see another judge for the Seawolves in the hands of Abel. I think Abel, despite not playing Neon, bought a judge at least 3 times in the last game. So
I feel like Abel has turned into one of the biggest memers on the team at this point.
yeah, I don't doubt that. But we'll have to see if he can get anything going with it. But we do see Majestic with an Outlaw about to face off against Yame in mid.
And the gun, oh my God, Gunny.
Finds
Just
2.
just calm down, lad, okay? It's not that serious. Gunny still going for more peaks, looking for an ace, but hey, I think that's karma. I think that's karma.
I don't blame him for keeping that. There was a spike there, and now here's the Outlaw in Abel's hands now. Spots Yame, but just misses the timing.
Kaiser going forward. He has the LMG. Abel will pick up 1. Abel will pick up 2. Going for a nice little collection for himself. Kaiser will finish it off. And again, Stony Brook was in a 2-on-3. I don't think either of us mentioned it because they had the better guns and because, well, realistically, they've been Stony Brooking.
Yeah.
And that means they're just rolling over the game.
Exactly. They've been kind of just W-king. Ever since, like, round 3 of this game, they've kind of just figured, all right, you know what? We'll just go fight them. Nothing too fancy about it. And now, like you said, we're in 11-3. This is 9 times out of 10 goes the way of the team that's up 11.
Yeah, it's, like I said, not a competitive scoreline. Stony Brook won't say they're in tripping distance just yet because I never really know with this team. Spam coming out from Gunny, not going to hit anything onto Jay just yet. Instead, it's going to be Kaiser taken very low, so he's going to throw out some shock darts, and Gunny and Kaiser will both get shot through the wall instantly. Majestic, and he's probably telling to his team, hey, that's what you get for taking away my ace.
Now, sight is theirs, and Abel still holding the shotgun there, so not the gun you want to retake with. Facing off against Yame in main does molly him, but
Abel, you're going to have to peek this at some point. There he goes. Does get onto site as well. Joined up by his teammate who teleports right in front of him. Abel going forward. Gets the first shot onto Yame. Jumping around the corner. Not able to get it. Bao
had a shotgun,
Bao
too.
with the shotgun gets
Majestic has a
they
shotgun.
all have one. Bao gets another headshot. Again, I think this round is a little too far gone, and Bannable proving me right. Bao going for some more taps and not going to hit any of them. Still looking for that headshot. Gets it onto Bannable eventually. Bao onto the 3K. Again, it's too far gone into this round for him to be able to kill 2 and defuse, but he's attempting it nonetheless. Trapping these 2 players on the back of site at the very least. Will find another headshot. Going for the full ace. Gets the tag onto Jay a little bit lower and finds it just before the bomb goes off. So Bao, at the very least, you can say you got 5.
A little stat padding never hurt anyone, and 3 shotguns. They were all 3 of them also pushed up into A main. They wanted to take the fight to them with those shotguns. It just didn't work out for them. Now we do see, looks like a save coming from the Seawolves. Gunny on his signature Sheriff.
Majestic with the Stinger. Again, with the jet dashing point blank range.
Yeah,
and just
both lethal weapons in those players' hands.
So Kaiser, this time maybe they won't both get shot at the same time through the wall.
Kaiser does have an Odin, despite the rest of his team saving.
Yeah, and he's going to push with it, because that's what you do with this gun. You push forward with it.
Yeah. Looks like no one's going to be running into him,
I think Spad is holding this angle potentially with a scope, and no, it's going to be a Guardian. So, I mean, still precise gun right there, and they'll find the head right away. Majestic, you're in a good position to find one, but doesn't find anything. Yame with the headshot will close out that fight. Gunny, can you find it? Looking for the headshot, and he finds Spad. He's so good with this weapon. It's almost like watching him with the Vandal, essentially. Bao has to get around this corner, but will be found and dropped by Bannable. Abel, again, why not, with a judge, and towards heaven. I don't think someone explained Abel the proper way you're supposed to use this gun is by holding close angles. it looks like he's using it as an operator, and he'll just watch Gunny die, picks up the Odin instead, and now it's his time to have a little bit of fun with this heavy machine gun, or just get dropped through the wall, and it's going to be the latter.
I'd like to point out the Seawolves buy that round was 2 judges, a sheriff, a stinger, and an Odin.
Yes.
Not a single rifle, despite 3 people having like full buy round guns. So
You say that if it's a bad thing.
I mean, it didn't work out for them, did it? they're having their fun with it, but at the end of the day, they still need to close the game eventually.
I mean, that's what you think.
Okay, maybe
I
they want to
think
go
that-
to map 3.
It's more free Valorant.
I won't say no. I won't say no. It's plenty of fun watching this go down. But
So the
that's
question
Abel.
is,
Majestic dashed in.
well, there's an opening kill, something they haven't had in a little bit. Majestic could go around the corner again, and he drops, I think, by the Odin that was just previously in his teammate's hands.
Yeah, that's Kaiser's Odin right there. But
And Kaiser, what a great
reclaims it.
timing there.
And there it is, back in his hands.
So now going through the smoke, we'll get a good timing onto Jay. We'll turn around for a second one. There goes Kaiser with the 3K, and I have a feeling we're going to be seeing map and series point very, very quickly. Thrifty, I don't know if you can call it a Thrifty, really, because they just upgraded their guns after 1 kill. I mean, it was essentially like they were playing with full rifles the entire time. And watching Bao right now on the replay over there with the ace, I mean, it was a nice piece of shooting from him from a couple rounds ago, but again, when it's you at that game state was 10-4, then 11-4.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really care what he's doing at that point.
Yeah, and last round that shows exactly why Kaiser buys the Odin. That was excellent shooting from him without scoping in. That's some difficult shots. Majestic once again running it down
with the knives, looking for the headshots, not gonna find it onto Spat.
He died
really
in the same place as last round.
Yeah. And Yame now with his knives will do what he's actually supposed to do and will find Abel. Gunny in a good position to go for a multi-frag right now. Is dancing to both sides, but is only going to get peeked from one. Going for the peek now. Will find it onto Jay. Swinging out for a second one. He finds Beef. Gunny, can you find anything else? No one else will offer up a challenge. Kaiser, again, Kaiser gets the Odin. And Bao, okay, Bao bought a normal gun.
Wow. That's new.
Hello. Kaiser for 2. He gets both headshots. 1 left to find. Going to spam through the wall, and the recoil is just so extreme. Not able to find it, but Bao will instead. And the Seawolves will take another 2-0. An entertaining 2-0.
Definitely.
Not in the way that it was a super competitive game, but by the fact that the Seawolves like to have fun in Valorant.
Exactly. Excellent buys coming from them. I never want to see it in my ranked games ever, but I loved seeing it in this game for sure.
Fortunately, I will never see them in my ranked games because I will never get to that high enough of a level.
Oh, I'm not that high either,
yeah.
but I think my elo is more likely to see that kind of buy down in silver and gold. But
so with that, we will kick it over to an interview in just a couple of minutes. Going to be with Kaiser this time, I think mainly because of that ace that he had in the first map. That was such a great sequence coming out from him. And Niddle, do you have any closing thoughts before we send it to the break?
I've got nothing except good to see the Seawolves get their mojo back from last game.
All right, and with that, we will go to a quick break and then come back with Kaiser for a little bit of a post-game interview. Back this time, joined by Kaiser. Congratulations coming off of that strong 2-0. Your team now improves to 6-1, I believe, still second place in the standings. Obviously, coming into this game against Central Michigan University, I have a feeling you guys were feeling a little bit confident knowing that they were in last place in the league. What was it like coming in?
Well, I mean, coming in for all of our games, actually, we are pretty confident. We understand our abilities and our skills in this game, and it's not like we're going to take opponents lightly for the max fact. Like against Mizzou, it was definitely a tough game because even though they're #1 in the standings, and that's obviously a daunting factor, it's not like we're gonna go down without a fight. So going into this, I think it was definitely we were pretty confident nonetheless, but it's gonna be the same for every game too.
Nice. And obviously on the first map, you had yourself a nice little ace, an extended 1v1. It's kind of rare to see a 1v1 go on for that long. What was your thought process in the moment? What were the emotions that you were feeling, and how'd you stay cool?
Well, my role on the team is that I actually do a bit of the talking, especially when it comes to doing team plays, doing coordinated plays. But when it comes to 1vx scenarios, I actually let my teammates do all the talking because by being able to isolate my thoughts and be able to more focus on the gameplay, I let my teammates do the thinking, and because of that, it'll let me actually hone in, and that's how I actually stay cool in some of these fights.
All right. And towards the end of the second game, you guys were obviously having a little bit of fun, a little bit of judge buys and, just running down. I think that might have been highlighted by the fact that Gunny denied a ace from Majestic. I mean, what's just like the team chemistry feeling like after a moment like that?
These guys like to fight at each other. During the intermission, these guys were having a little bit of a back and forth tug fight actually, right behind us, and it was definitely fun. It keeps the vibes up for sure, and that's one of the best things you could do about games like this where extended long periods of time, it gets very, very draining, especially mentally as well. And considering that we're students ourselves too, we like to prioritize our studies, and having just these back and forths, having these little fun little interactions definitely helps out for the most part.
All right. Kaiser, thank you so much, and once again, congratulations on the match. And with that, we will close out the stream for today. Of course, make sure to check the schedule because we will be back tomorrow and Friday for more SBU Esports action.